Hey everyone, Reverend Dr. Katie here, and I hope you're doing really, really well. I am just coming on YouTube real quick to give all of the subscribers a little shout out. I just want to let you all know how much I appreciate you. I love it when there's comments and likes, and a lot of you are really active on the site. So just spreading the love a little bit, and also letting you know that I am involved with 2 podcasts right now. So I want to tell you about both of them, and I will put the links in the comments so that you can subscribe, or you can just kind of go Google and find them. So the first one is I am a new co-host for an established podcast called Heretic Happy Hour. We burn questions, not people. So this is a beautiful podcast if you are thinking about your faith, like the faith of your upbringing, maybe one that was full of a lot of spiritual toxicity and where God was sort of violent and wrathful, and that doesn't really match your inner knowing about who God is or about who Jesus is. And you like being a little tongue-in-cheek and you like asking some really challenging questions in a really fun way. This is the podcast for you. I was actually the heretic of the week a couple of months ago, and then one of the hosts moved on and left the podcast. We're all still good friends, and they needed a couple of new co-hosts. So I'm one of 2 with my friend and colleague Derek. So now there's 4 hosts on there, and we are asking all sorts of great questions. Our inaugural episode with all 4 of us is on penile substitutionary atonement. I did not say penile. Penile, Penal. This will be a running joke for you. So that's the kind of way that we approach this kind of thing. So what is penile substitutionary atonement theory? That's the theory that God was so angry and wrathful about humanity and the sinfulness of humanity that God had to be appeased through the death and the blood and the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. I do not subscribe to this theory. I do not think that's a healthy way to understand God, but it's the only theory that a lot of us grew up with. Like, we just sort of naturally assumed that Jesus died for our sins. And so we're going to give you a couple of other ways to understand that, the cross and who Jesus was and what all is going on there. So that's one. The second podcast that I am part of is one I'm co-creating with 2 amazing women, Andrea and Amy Renee. I'm going to put a link there, link for you. And it is Magical Mystical Journeys. So in this podcast, we go full out woo-woo. I mean, like full out woo-woo. Angels, guides, messages, interacting with the heavenly realms, the divine realms, breaking that all down, why we can sometimes connect, why sometimes it feels really hard. So nothing's off the table. We absolutely go there. We explore one angelic being or ascended master or supernatural kind of divine something that is in the midst with us per episode. It's super fun. We have a launch team that's forming right now. If you want to be part of the launch team, it is not too late. You can be part of the launch team. We launch officially on July 5th. And so if you want to be part of the launch team, you can get 3 episodes right now, like starting today, and you get to explore 3 of these beings. Who are they? You have to join the launch team to find out. But I'll give you a hint. The ones that you would get to explore, 2 of them start with the letter M. One of them starts with the letter S. And so you could explore those 3 beings with us. And to be part of the launch team, basically listen to the episodes, give us a little bit of feedback about what's working for you, how you're enjoying the podcast, and be ready to rate the podcast whenever it launches the week of July 5th. And we are giving all sorts of goodies to our launch team because we're so appreciative of the effort and the work. So there you go, y'all. It's like it's the month of podcast, 2 for the price of 1. So there's Heretic Happy Hour, really tongue-in-cheek, very fun, very adult. So it is, if you have little kids around, there's some language on there. So this is for grown-ups or very mature teens. But we break down like all of those ideas, the ones that are barriers. They're barriers from us entering into our full spiritual self, into the full expression of who God made us to be. And so we address all of that. And then Magical Mystical Journeys, where you get to go along for the ride with myself, Christian minister, New Testament scholar, metaphysical practitioner, with Andrea, who's an evidential psychic medium, and with Amy Renee, who's a shamanic practitioner. Like, it sounds like a joke, right? A shaman, a psychic, and a minister walk into a bar. What happens next? This podcast, apparently. And so there you go. So we'd love to have you in on them. I am, so I'm going to be like super honest with you. I'm actually soaking my hand right now in this like solution because I had a moment of contrast the other night, cut it on a mandolin. And so I'm not able to type really well right now, but as soon as I get it out of this bowl and it's not soaking in the solution, I will type all of those links for you all. Okay, everyone, I will talk to you soon.